What is going on, everyone? James Livingston here, back again, bringing you guys another review video of what I think the market is going to do here today, November 19th, Tuesday. First and foremost, going over yesterday, kind of giving you the brief cliff notes of kind of what yesterday entailed. We did get that little bit of a relief bounce that we were kind of expecting. Again, we had tapped down right on the gap on Friday, so right before the election day gap. And usually what I've seen in the past is when you get down to these gaps or up to these gaps, right before you actually start to fill the gap, you see some sort of a bounce right at kind of the border of it. Doesn't happen all the time, but honestly, it happens more often than not. Now, overnight, we did get a little bit of a pullback in the market. I think this morning we did have a little bit of nuclear fear talks. Putin over in Russia did essentially change the doctorate, I believe, for their nuclear arms agreements, and that really set off the world and kind of caused everything really to fall back a little bit. I think it's just a brief little hiccup. I think the technicals are going to rule this no matter what. So with that being said, we are still getting that little bit of a bounce again overnight to get that pullback on that news. Essentially, we are since already recovering on the 30-minute here. If we're looking at strictly levels to look out for today, I'm looking at this very clear level we had once, twice, three times, once in after hours there as well. Right here at about 588.40, 588.50, somewhere in that general area right there is what I'm looking at for a pop to try and reclaim the high of day from yesterday over here at just about 590. I do believe before we head back down that we should go up and at least retest 590 to 592 area. I just think it would be healthy before the push down into the election day gap, because that is such a massive gap to the downside. I think some kind of push to the upside is warranted here before a drop. So that's the upside level. I really wouldn't look at upside until you start to see that area clear. Now, as far as downside, right now we have a pretty clear level down here as well. We bounced off it in pre-market. We bounced off it on Friday at the very end of the day, as well as in pre-market yesterday and pre-market today, which is right there at about 584, 584.75, we'll call it. Nice whole round number. But that would be essentially your level for the upside. Now, I know we have a pretty large margin here, but honestly, anything in between here is really just chop. You're going to get chopped around. There's no real reason to trade any of this right here this morning. So just my opinion. If you want to go for it, go for it. But as far as QQQ, we're going to have a very similar situation where, again, all those kinds of things I was talking about, the nuclear arms stuff, did have an effect on QQQ as well. Now, right here, similar level, right there at the end of the day yesterday, as well as twice in after hours, we did tap out around 500.5. So that is essentially my breakout level for the upside. Again, targeting yesterday's highs ideally, so up here the 502 area. And as far as downside, you are looking at the pre-market low here, lines up extremely well with the low of yesterday, a low of pre-market yesterday as well. So a very crucial level there at 496.80. Again, anything in between this, I think it's just chop action. I don't recommend trading it at all. But those are the levels for SPY, QQQ, IWM over here. This beast has been dipping, has kind of had a little bit of a relief yesterday, but then kind of did a really quick V action and then gap down afterwards. Now, this one's in a little bit of a different situation because I know IWM has actually already started going into its election day gap. So I anticipate that it might try and fill that one sooner rather than later. Let me use a 15-minute here just for the levels. Upside would not look upside on this at all until we start to see 229.40 breakout. Again, that triple tap there at the end of the day into after hours, and you can see here we've just generally been teetering on that spot with a little false breakout here, but 229.40 is that spot for me. Downside, you got down to 226. That low of pre-market is definitely where we want to break. 226 should give us room to move down towards 224 right here. If not, if it really wants to, could probably see into the 223s. So probably about like mid to high 223s could also be a target on the downside for IWM. Now let's talk about NVIDIA, because NVIDIA's earnings are coming out here tomorrow evening. Not tomorrow morning, but tomorrow evening, so tomorrow after close. What I usually see from NVIDIA and any stock really heading into earnings is we get a little pre-earnings run. Whether it's a pre-market melt or a pre-earnings meltdown or a pre-earnings run-up. Right now, NVIDIA is shaping upward. It's shaping up with some strength. This could also indirectly affect the ETFs by QQQ and push those higher or lower depending on what NVIDIA wants to do. Now, NVIDIA has, a very clear spot up here at about 143.30. I think we spotted this out a couple days back as well. 143.30, it lines up very nicely with that 30-minute 200 EMA as well. So another indication there that if we break that, we can definitely see some heavy movement to the upside. We got enough room up into the 145, 146 area if it really wants to. And as downside, I would say you don't want to really look at downside until we break under what would have been Friday's low. Friday's low is essentially where we kind of supported out yesterday as well. If we break that, I think there's a good chance we will just start to melt down, probably break yesterday's low pretty quick as well. So that's what I'm looking at on NVIDIA. And we'll do one more here on Tesla. Tesla with an absolute perfect, beautiful breakout of this 4-hour flag. Opened up yesterday with the push, yesterday with the push here, out of it, gapped up. Did kind of feel its gap middle of the day a little bit, and it's just been consolidating. On the 30-minute time frame, you can see here we're almost forming what looks to be another flag pattern right here. So if you look at, could arguably say it's that, and this was just a little false breakdown. We got another flag pattern right now. So I'm looking at Tesla first thing in the AM here today as a potential opportunity for a long. If it breaks this flag, I think we're going to fly through yesterday's highs and go up straight to 350 plus. That's just my opinion. I think Tesla's got the strength for it. And while the rest of the market is kind of, in shambles, Tesla is thriving. So upside level for Tesla that I'd be looking at here today is going to be 340.60 right there. I'm going to break this previous kind of little high here and get a move up. And then as far as downside, looking at the pre-market low here today, 331.80. 331.80 likely will break yesterday's low, probably take us down to the 200 EMA on the 30-minute. So that is what I'm looking at here this morning, guys, for IWM, QQQ, SPY, NVIDIA, and Tesla. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Hopefully these videos are helping you guys prepare in the morning. If it is, please give it a like, comment down below, let me know what you guys are thinking, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.